Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're trying to break into the AI industry right now, it probably feels like the rules change every single week. And you know what? They kind of do. It's frankly exhausting to keep up with. But today, we are going to cut right through all of that noise. We're going to demystify exactly what the 2026 AI job market looks like. We're pulling directly from the latest industry data, engineering roadmaps, and recruiter insights to give you a definitive blueprint. So if you want to know what it actually takes to build a career in AI today, you are in the exact right place. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll hit the 2026 AI reality check out the dominant AI tech stack, and explore the shift to LLM ops. From there, we'll talk about building a winning portfolio and wrap it all up with your 90-day action plan. All right, part one, the 2026 AI reality check. Okay, let's dive into this with a pretty stark wake-up call because industry expectations have shifted dramatically. Just a few years ago, think 2023, maybe 2024, the path was pretty straightforward, right? You learned some Python, trained some models in a Jupyter notebook, and applied for jobs. Well, that era of simple tinkering, it's completely over. Today, the job is entirely different. You're expected to handle retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, build multi-agent workflows, and integrate AI into existing software systems. It's really no longer just about the model itself. It's about building reliable, scalable systems that connect to real business logic. So, the bottom line is this. The bar has gone way up. Companies are no longer hiring based on your potential to learn. They are hiring based on proof that you can deliver. Entry-level roles are hyper-competitive right now. Hiring managers absolutely need to see practical experience. They need to know you can handle context, manage memory and large language models, and govern AI in real-world environments. You have to prove you can take an AI concept out of the lab and actually put it into production. Moving on to part two, the dominant AI tech stack. So there are hundreds of new frameworks popping up every single month, but we're going to cut right through that noise to the actual toolkit you need. 87%. I really want that number to sink in for a second. If you're wondering what programming language you should focus on, the data is just undeniable. Based on an analysis of over 120,000 AI job postings across the US and the UK, Python appears in 87% of them. It is the absolute, undisputed king of AI. But here's the real secret to Python's dominance. It basically acts as a glue language. Python itself isn't necessarily the fastest thing out there, but it delegates all the heavy, performance-critical lifting to these essential frameworks running under the hood. You've got PyTorch and TensorFlow for deep learning, Hugging Face transformers for natural language processing. For generative AI, LangChain and Llama Index are absolutely your go-to frameworks. Then, you really need to know vector databases like Pinecone or Chroma for handling AI memory and RAG systems. And finally, Fast API to deploy these models efficiently. Basically, Python is the wrapper that makes all these incredibly powerful tools play nicely together. Now, while Python towers over everything at 87%, do not ignore SQL at 61% or Java at 24%. Why? Well, because AI doesn't exist in a vacuum. SQL is highly relevant because you have to pull and clean data from databases before an AI can even touch it. And Java is vital because a ton of massive enterprise systems are built on it, and your AI needs to integrate with those legacy systems. But make no mistake here, Python is the absolute prerequisite for all modern AI work. Next up, part three, the shift to LLM ops. This brings us to a massive operational shift. Look, we all know DevOps, but standard software deployment tactics simply do not work for generative AI. Enter LLM ops, which is all about managing large language models in production. Notice what isn't in that definition: training models from absolute scratch. Today, LLM ops focuses heavily on pre-trained foundation models. Your job isn't building the core model anymore. Your job is prompt engineering, building RAG pipelines, and critically monitoring the outputs to make sure the AI isn't hallucinating, which basically means making things up. Now, what's really interesting about this concept is exactly how it maps out the difference between managing traditional software and managing AI. In DevOps, your output is deterministic. A bug is a bug, code runs the exact same way every single time. But in LLM ops, your output is non-deterministic. Actually, it's a lot like managing a highly caffeinated creative writer. The AI might give a brilliant answer 90% of the time and a wildly off-the-wall one the other 10%. So while DevOps is monitoring uptime and server latency, LLM Ops is monitoring response quality and hallucinations. You aren't just delivering software pipelines, you're managing prompt templates and complex context systems. It is just a whole new way of thinking about operations. Part 4. Building a winning portfolio. Okay, so we know the tech stack and we know the operational mindset. How do you actually validate your worth to a recruiter who is only going to spend, a few seconds looking at your application? I absolutely love this quote from machine learning engineer Igor Howell. A model in a Jupyter notebook has zero business value. Ouch, right? But it's a stark reality check. Hiring managers are totally desperate for candidates who can build end-to-end, business-driven solutions. They do not want to see a messy notebook with some theoretical algorithm. They want to see a deployed system that solves a real problem. And the data totally backs this up. Portfolios that include a live, clickable demo receive 80% higher engagement from hiring managers. Literally providing a live API link or a simple interactive Streamlit app will massively boost your interview callbacks compared to just linking a static code repository. They want to click it, test it, and see that it actually works instantly. You need to make it undeniably easy for them to hire you by proving right there on the spot that you can deploy. So what should you actually be building? Well, here's your hit list. These specific project types prove you can handle what the industry calls the hidden 90% of AI work. Stuff like dealing with messy data, connecting APIs, and setting up guardrails. You need a RAG-based question answering system where an AI queries specific documents. You should definitely try building a multi-agent research assistant where different AI agents collaborate. An AI customer support agent with memory? Fantastic. And an automated data pipeline proves you actually know how to feed the beast. But hey, you have to be strategic here. You must tailor your portfolio projects to your specific career stage. If you're a beginner, just focus on structured data and basic RAG. Your goal is simply clean, functional implementation. If you're intermediate, you need to start showing domain-specific projects and agentic workflows, proving you can overcome real deployment hurdles. And if you're advanced, you need to be building multimodal, scalable systems that prove measurable business ROI. Whatever level you're at, your portfolio just has to show continuous growth. Finally, Part 5. Your 90-day action plan. Let's pull all of this together into a concrete, pragmatic blueprint so you can start executing immediately. Here is your step-by-step 90-day action plan. In days 1 through 30, focus purely on strengthening your Python skills and understanding those core machine learning concepts. Really build that foundation. In days 31 to 60, it's time to step into 2026. Master LangChain, build RAG pipelines, and play around with basic agents. Finally, in days 61 to 90, you learn a dedicated agent framework, build those end-to-end projects, and deploy your live portfolio. And honestly, here is the absolute best news of this entire explainer. You do not need a PhD to succeed in 2026. Consistency matters so much more than intensity. Just 2 focused hours a day following this structured approach is going to get you there. It's just about showing up, writing code, and building systems that actually work in the real world. So, we've laid out the tools, the mindset, the portfolio strategies, and the timeline. The industry is literally waiting for engineers who can deliver real business value. The blueprint is right here in front of you. The only question left is, are you ready to start building today? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.